Yorkie the Barbarian here. Before the founding of House Yorkie, before Yorkshire was even on the maps, they were my people, the Brigands of Brigantia. So let me take you back in time to my time in Golarion with Pathfinder Kingmaker. We're going to rest and then head up to Barnhold and maybe check out the overgrown cavern if we can get down there. So, let's start with a quick rest. Manage. You need to get back in there for our hunter. Let's go.
No, Reg. I don't want any of that wine. Didn't I ask you to leave that vendor alone? I know I did. And what did you do? Slashed him.
Yeah, so what? I didn't kill him. Then there, don't pout. He's richer than both of us. What does he care about a few bottles?
Oh dear, Reggie. Excellent owlbear omelette. Nice. Happening at the castle. Failure on the intruder. Nothing else going on right now.
A rest would be welcome.
Yeah, probably would. Don't think that's where I want to be going. We got some of them need to rest proper. Because they're down to exhausted. Tired's one thing, exhausted is quite another. Rotten cave. See, the overgrown cavern came up and lit up, so I want to see what's down here. Barbarians. Hey, who's walking over there? Barbarian standing guard at the cave entrance calls over to you coarsely. Dangerous to walk around here, better turn back. The guards look to you with their hands on their weapons, waiting for an answer. Just a... Probably more my style. This is your only warning, let me in or I'll force my way in. Hey, easy now, we have a cave full of fighters here. You want in, enter. But if you're looking for trouble, it may be closer than you thought. Oh, a brave one, aren't you? Well, come on then, try and give us a hard time. What? Are your hands sweating already? I thought so. Barbarian turns away, feigning indifference. Yeah, I thought so.
I won't be halted.
Don't act up with your betters. More leather.
We do it my way.
Bits and bats of other stuff.
I did as you asked.
Armour +4, I don't think we need that. Sell for a bit though. Mushroom. What's over here?
Onwards.
Edible moss. And we got a recipe. Nah. You're not wearing anything. Otherwise, but you've already got +4. You are. You are. You won't be. But you've got +5 already, so there's no point in you worrying about that +4. Yo, Bolger, you look like you're in charge round here. A half-orc woman sits by the fire. Her clothes are made of leather and fur, matching the rest of the barbarians. She frowns as she slides a finger along a map crudely drawn on a crumpled sheet of paper. She lifted her gaze as she noticed you. Guess, who are you? You're a friend, take a seat by the fire and let's talk. I'm Bolga, from the Tiger Lord's tribe. I lead this group. Are you a chieftain? Me? No. Just seasoned enough to lead a group. Our chieftain is Armag the Twiceborn. Bolga says the name proudly, as though expecting recognition or awe. He's back in Numeria right now. What's your chieftain known for? Long ago he was the greatest of the Numerian chieftains and Gorham's chosen. Armag was so strong no mortal could strike him down. It was only when Pharasma herself challenged him to battle that he fell, and only because of her divine power. But now Armag shamed her and came back from the afterlife. Great Armag leads the Tiger Lords once more. Now was Armag the Twiceborn, and soon word of our exploits will spread all over Avistan. I didn't know there were half-orcs among the Numerian barbarians. The barbarian shrugs. The orcs have lands nearby. A lot can happen between two neighbouring peoples. Sure, lots of things. Regengar spits on the ground. What are you doing here? We're looking for some ruins or a cave or something, I really don't know. Only Dugath knows exactly what we're looking for. He's a cleric and he's our leader on this expedition. Well, him and the sisters. What sisters? The witches who serve Armag. They seem to know a lot about the world, history, gods, even other worlds. They're pretty smart talkers. You'd hardly believe the things they know. And they have these strange, unimaginable spells. When Armag ordered us to pack up for the expedition, we thought we'd be marching for a month. But they just waved their hands. Whoosh. A tunnel of multicoloured lights opened before us. The trip here took us just an hour. Can you imagine it? I won't be surprised if you can't. Where might I find them? They're in our main camp here. Olga points at a cross on the map. If you're looking to hire us or have some other business, come visit. They'd be much better than digging around in the dirt out here. Have you found anything of interest? It'd be nice if we had. So far it's just a dirt, crap and monsters. Like we don't get enough of that back in Numeria. We found this all, and the monsters that were living here, we took a beating doing it, but we managed to kick them out. Then after we searched the place, we found out it's just a regular cave. Nothing of note. For a day or two we'll probably head out and keep searching. Do you know anything about the situation in Varnold? Varnold, where's that? The barbarian looks down at a map and finds a rough sketch of the area. No. No idea, we've never been there. Tell me about Numeria. Numeria is a land with adamantine in its soul, and its people have adamantine in their hearts. We're going to make it hard for them to beat in it. The barbarian starts solemnly, then her tone shifts. And since we have bugger all beyond adamantine and courage, we just trade what we've got. Alright, let me go find your proper camp then. We'll get it out. So she's marked a camp on the map. Best go find that. Ah, is that it? All the way over there. Not a problem. I can't do anything about back at the place anymore. Not right now.
A rest would be
No, don't worry about it. Enemies. We're tired. Fight anyway. Let's see what we got, shall we?
Nice, don't you think?
No, I think you need to rest, do you? Ferocious Trollhound, is that all we got?
I'm glad you called.
Just letting the ink dry.
Right. You. You. And you. The cat. Dog. And her. Not gonna need that, but we'll get it on anyway. Good hope. I doubt there's anything invisible around, but never mind. We'll do it anyway. Stick that on the cat. Stick that on all of us. Shield for Reggie. Shield for me. Shield for the dog. Improve your bow. That should be enough.
Together we are
Reggie. Strength. On me. On you. On little Lindsay. On the doggy. And on the kitty. You got none of that left. So put it on that one.
Here.
You put it on yourself. Oh yeah, this on all of the rest of us of you. Actually, no. On there. On there. Make us all big. I reckon that'll do, won't you?
Strike as I'm not afraid.
Remember when they were a problem? Yeah, not anymore. Now we're looking at experience now. Ooh, look at that. 520. For most of us, Ali will take a bit more.
Resting would be nice, don't you think?
Let's enter and see what's going on at the camp.
I require rest. I won't be halted.
On the low grounds of among the hills, some Numerian barbarians had set up camp. While obviously set up recently as a place to rest, it was thoroughly constructed. Along with the stake palisade, the Numerians had reinforced their camp with deep moats. Spotting the body of some unlucky thief at the bottom, it seemed they made a good call. Tough fighters stood guard, watching us without a trace of friendliness. But once we introduced ourselves, they invited us to enter the camp and led us to see their leader. We led to a man named Dugath, a middle-aged Kellid with a gorgeous mane, once charcoal black, now salt and pepper, as well as bronze skin hardened by sun, wind and time to the point that it almost looked like oak. Speaking with assertive tones, he invited us to dine with the Tiger Lords. That was the name of their tribe, and spend the night in their camp. Any business we might have with their tribe, he said, could be discussed in the morning, once everyone was rested and refreshed. Not wanting to offend the barbarians, we'd proven to be commendably hospitable, or who'd proven rather, we accepted the invitation. Within minutes, we were seated by the bonfire with goblets in our hands. As guests, our goblets were wrought with carefully decorated silver. with intricate carvings depicting scenes of battle. The cupbearer filled everyone's goblets with wine. When Dugath raised his cup, officially starting the feast, the Baron... The Barbarian's not going to want to sip things, that's silly. Stood and proposed a toast to the elf? No, Dugath's the one leading it, he's doing the toast. Now the question is, do they quaff and enjoy the drink? Or do they share it with their gods and goddesses and spill some on the ground? The people of nature. Looking at the Baron with respect, the Numerians spilled their wine too. It was apparently a barbarian tradition, offering the first cup to the spirits. Told you. Only after the cupbearer filled their goblets again did the Numerians start to think, and so did we. Start to drink, sorry. The main course, unsurprisingly, was meat. While hunting in the hills, Numerians had killed a deer and 2 wild boars, all now roasting over an open fire. As a tribe's guests, we were offered the best pieces. Fierce in battle, the Numerians were equally fierce at the table. They frantically tore the meat apart with knives, bare hands and teeth, as though attacking the throats of their worst enemies, rather than eating roast venison. Only one camp inhabitant didn't join the dinner. Far from the festivities, a slim woman, wrapped in grey cloak, sat alone, her face hidden behind a piece of cloth. She was so quiet and still, at first I didn't realise she was a living being at all. The Baron asked who the hell she was. Glancing cautiously between Dugath and the woman, one Numerian explained that the woman was one of the defaced sisters, half priestess, half wizard. While they may travel along with the Numerians, they never ate at the same table. Judging by the tones the barbarian used when speaking of the woman, it was easy to tell that none of them held any warm feelings towards them. After everyone had eaten their fill, it was time for entertainment. The barbarians began singing a drawling song in their guttural language, known as Hallit. Later, one of the Numerians explained that it was a ballad about a brother and sister who defeated a huge metal spider. The song that followed was a comedic piece about the adventures of a stupid werewolf. The Numerians all sang it together. It was clear that each of them knew that one by heart. Almost everybody clapped to the rhythm, though some thumped their knife handles on the shields, and our half-orc acquaintance Bolger accompanied the song on a wagon. I assume that's a musical instrument of some kind. Once the song was over, Dugath appealed to his guests. Us, to surprise our hosts, the Baron decided the best choice would be... a friendly sparring match. Take him out, Rudge. The Numerians have a great respect for brute force, and not many things impress them more than demonstration. I witnessed the barbarians roar in delight as Regengar stood in triumph, shaking his fist over the defeated barbarian lying in the dust. Even Dugath nodded in approval, clapping his hands after watching the fight. Finally, the drinking and singing came to an end. Only bones remained from the feast, and the bonfire had burned down to ash. Satisfied, the Numerians retired to their tents.
I beg you, I haven't seen my sisters for several days. I'm afraid they may be in trouble.
As you approach the barbarian leader, you can't help but overhear part of his conversation with a woman you recognised from the feast before. Her face remains hidden, and she sounds extremely worried.
This whole land is nothing but trouble. You want me to risk my life and the lives of my people to do your dirty work? Go ahead, ask Armagh to give the order. Oh, but Armagh stayed back in Numeria, which means I am the one making the decisions here.
But what about my sisters? Something terrible could happen to them.
You sisters insisted on this expedition. So it's your price to pay. With your blood, not ours. Something terrible could happen, you say? It is too late for that. We already lost good men on this pointless journey to nowhere. Whatever Armagh needs, it's not here, and it wasn't here from the start. But you didn't come here for him, did you? You came for your own reasons.
Oh, yeah?
You want some magic toy that once belonged to the ancient Cyclops. Well, I'm not leading my men to their deaths for that.
To Goth.
This conversation is over. You want help? Why not ask our guests to
We could
help
look
you?
into it.
If you can afford their rates, that is. As for me, my single remaining goal is to get my people home alive, and well, and as soon as possible.
The woman leaves sobbing. Dugas turns to you. Good morning. Well, let's get down to business, shall we? Introductions aren't necessarily barren. I know you are. Let's discuss how we can be useful to one another. Do you know me? How?
How do you think? We keep an eye on everything that happens in the region. It's smart to know our potential employers and our potential enemies.
Very wise. It would be even wiser not to tell the Lord of these lands that you consider him an adversary. Got a point. Who was that woman?
Wish I knew who these witches are and where they came from. Our chieftain, the great Armagh, spirits bless him, trusts them as if they were holy oracles. He sent us with them to these dead hills, and none but the sisters and the chieftain himself know why. Who am I to confront the chieftain? So now we wander these lands, chasing the unknown.
Well, if your chieftain's a bloody idiot, maybe you should confront him. You know anything about what happened in Varnold?
Varnold, huh? Isn't that the village Megor Varn got from the Ristovik Sword Lords? I know Varn. He's not the best fighter, but not the worst. As for what happened there, I wouldn't know.
Right, so how can we help each other?
I'm afraid we can't. At least not yet. I'd be happy to take a new job, but our chieftain's orders were strict. Search the location and come back with a report. But if you could help us here, say, by finding whatever these witch sisters are looking for, or maybe just making them disappear forever, mark my word, Baron, the Tiger Lords never forget those who helped them.
Tempting.
Disappeared, you say? That can easily be arranged.
There's a whole army over here. How did you manage to get so far?
None of your business, actually.
Well, it's not
Just
actually.
to reassure you, we weren't sneaking into your lands without permission. I'll answer. It was magic. The sisters opened some strange tunnel, and we used it to get here from Numeria. Gorham witnessed my words. I'm no coward, but I'd rather march for a month through all the river kingdoms than use that tunnel again.
Not fond of the portkeys, huh?
Strange. Wrong. Just like those witches themselves.
What are you looking for?
I wish I knew. The sisters are looking for something, but they won't tell anyone what it is. I guess it's some antique that used to belong to the Cyclops. Some magic trinket or something. As for me, the only thing I'm looking for is a good reason to quit this nonsense and return to Numeria as soon as possible.
Did you find anything of interest?
We did. Do you think we'd still be here now? The only thing to be found in these hills is one's own death. A group of my men entered a cave that turned out to be a Spriggan den. They barely survived the encounter. Also, we found the ruins of some old tower, ancient as the world itself, and useless as this expedition. There is nothing to be found here, except, like I said, for one's own death.
Someone's not happy. Right, not that I haven't been doing this already, but let me ask you a question.
Ask away. Why not?
Tell me about yourself. That's not a question.
I'll answer, though.
Let's see. Tell me about yourself is not a question. Tell me about your tribe is not a question. Tell me about your chieftain is not a question. These are instructions. Tell me about Numeria is not a question. What do you know about the Cyclops is a question. Right.
I'm Dugath, son of Gordir and Harith Three Fingers from the Tiger Lord's tribe. My entire life, I've served Gorum, first on the battlefield, sword in my hand, and later with prayer as well. I've fought in battles all across the River Kingdoms, in Yoberia, Gold, used to live. My price is high, my hand is steady, and my sword is deadly.
Tell me about Gorum.
Our Lord in Iron doesn't like empty talk. He's the god of those who act instead of chatter. His palm blesses every sword ever crafted, and wherever at least two men meet in battle, he is there with them. Even orcs worship the god of battle, and not only that, they imagine he's an orc too. It's all nonsense, of course, but there may be a grain of truth to it. For anyone can aspire to be like him. A human, an orc, and even an elf. Anyone who grips his iron to make his enemy bleed.
A waste of gold and precious lives, that's war for war's sake. I understand the followers of Lamash do better than those of Gorum. Yeah, tell me about your tribe.
There are many tribes in Numeria. Each does its best to survive. The Black Horses sell adamantine. The Blood Pikes rob caravans, and their white scars lick the boots of the Technic League. As for us, the Tiger Lords, we are mercenaries, and the best ones in this part of Avestan. Remember this, Baron. If you keep your throne long enough, we'll meet again. Sooner or later, fighting side by side, or otherwise. Who knows?
And some deal in slave trade.
Yes, there's plenty of those too. And their numbers will never dwindle, so long as the Technic League runs the country.
So, Tiger Lords, listen up. What if, say, some tribe abandons a child? Let's say sells him to the Technic League. A little snot-nose. No tattoos. No ritual scars. Is there any other way to find out where he's from?
That's a hell of a question. If there are no tattoos, no scars, nothing, then how would you identify him?
I'd call him Regungar or Reg. Maybe there's other signs.
You're right. Hey, boy, open your mouth. Your teeth aren't filed, and there's nothing on the head. I don't know any other signs.
Are there spells?
Maybe there are. I don't know what I don't know. If so, only a very powerful wizard could do it. I don't know any of those.
Maybe there's indirect signs.
There's only one indirect sign. If the tribe really sold their child to slavery, it was a tribe without honor or conscience. Only two of the larger tribes could be capable of this. The Sunderhorns and the White Scars. But besides them, there are dozens of small tribes in Numeria, and each of them has their own customs. Some aren't just slavers, but cannibals.
Tasty, tasty, very, very tasty.
I'm sorry, friend, but what you seek.
I know. I always just think, what if? Thanks for asking him, though. I never thought to ask.
Tell me about your chieftain.
He's a strong fighter, brave one. He says he's Armagh, an incarnation of a hero from the old times. Just don't ask if I believe it. Armagh is smart. He knows how to do business. If he'd only pay less attention to what those witches whisper, he'd be a perfect chieftain.
Tell me about Numeria.
Eons ago, stars rained down on Numeria. Pieces of metal, both dead and living ones, fell from the sky. Since then, metal monsters roam those lands, and the grounds hold a wealth of adamantine, among other valuable things. Weaklings don't survive there. As for us, Numerian Kelits, we grew up on that land. We drank its poisoned waters and breathed its toxic air. Metals from the depths infused our bones and muscles. No one can beat us. If there were anyone capable of bringing us down, it would be ourselves.
Don't push me to prove that's not true.
There it is, Numerian humor. For those who find gallows humor.
What do you know about Cyclops?
Not that much. Long ago, these lands were part of their empire. They were a great people back then, used unbelievable magic, and possessed treasures beyond count. Ages passed, and their empire crumbled into dust. Cyclops became wild and forgot all about what they once used to be. But the ruins... Yes, the ruins remember everything.
Well, thanks for your answers, cryptic and ridiculous as they were.
You're welcome.
I have to go. Let's have a quick tour around, shall we? Got a chest there. I think we can have what's within there, don't you? Thank you. Thought you might be open to that. What else have we got? Anything? Something down here. Dead body. Oh, it's a thief, innit? We can get that, whatever he's holding. Nice. Another scrap of runic leather. Anything over there? It don't look like it. Oh, there is. Right there. Another coin. About up here. Anything up this side? I don't think we can get there. No, no. Nope. Right. What's over here? Because that looks like a shop or something. Yep, Doug the merchant. Who are you? Name's Doug. Was hell of a fight when I was younger, but truth, those years passed before you know it. The health too. Barbarian raised his hand and you can see he only has 2 fingers. So now my job is equipment provisions along with a bit of trading. Show me your wares. Let's offer all the junk we don't need. Name. Don't need that. Said we didn't need that or that. Chainmail +2. No, we don't need any of that. Don't need that. What's this? Nobody's using quarterstaffs. Daggers +1, they can all go. A great axe +1. Great sword +1. Heart piercer sign, no one's using size. Heavy crossbow +1. Longsword +1. Nature's Will short sword. This +2 Vermin Bane short sword grants its wielder the ability Cast summon nature ally 2 once. Yeah, I don't think I need that. Nice to sell it though. Right, potion of back skin. Potion of aid. We'll never remember to use them, so we might as well sell them. Those 2. Keep them because we do remember to heal. Displacement. Enlarged person. Boxer's cunning. Greater invisibility. Heroism. Mage armor, no. Protection from electricity, no. No. Remove. Oh, we'll keep that. Shield of Dawn. We'll get 600 for it. Shield of Faith, get rid of them. Don't want +1 protection rings anymore. Scimitar +2, that can go. Slicer, see if Reg was still using scimitars, that'd be cool, but he ain't. Nobody's using that. Wander displacement, don't care. Echolocation, no. Weaver's chainmail, oh, that looks like it might be tasty. Will of the Disciple Quarterstaff, no one's using it. Gunderson's Diary, nope. That would seem to be about it, 63,000. Now, you got anything we want? We'll get those. Oh, we'll get your recipe too. Looks like that's about it though. Right, recipe. I forgot to sell these. Let's see what we can copy first. Oh, not that. Seasoned wings and thighs. All good. Right, Doug. Let's have another word with you. Show me your wares. And I've checked whether I can use any of these, so let's get rid of them. And that's burning hands. Don't need them. Don't need them. Doubt we need that, but it's not really taking up any space worth anything. So let's sell them another 1,600. Now let's have a word with that defaced sister.
You, our guest, the Baron, am I right? I'm sorry you witnessed that unpleasant scene. If I may ask, what is your name?
I'm Yorkie the Barbarian, what's yours? After you give your name, a large raven who's been sitting on the fence nearby takes wing and flies away. Alright. Saw you over at, what is it, didn't we?
Nice to meet you, Baron.
Barnold.
I have no name. I've rejected it to serve benevolent powers.
Benevolent. Is that what we're calling it?
Of those we're sometimes called to make. You may call me defaced sister.
Who are you?
I am one of those who call themselves the defaced.
Yeah, we know that bit.
We've rejected our names and our
You just told us.
in service to benevolent spirits. I'm sorry that I cannot reveal our true destiny to you yet. But believe me when I say our mission is extremely important. Not just for us, not just for the tribe, but for the entire world.
Yeah. Tell me about Numeria.
These are enigmatic lands. Stars rain from the sky. Soil bleeds fire and gives birth to metal instead of grass. These are lands of mysteries and nightmares. but they're destined to become the salvation of us all. For that is where great Armag lived, died, and rose again, and he will bring redemption for us all.
What's that smell? Is it bullcrap? I think it might be. Alright, tell me about this Armag.
He's a man of great destiny. The gods themselves tried to lay him low, but he came back, defied death itself, as was foretold, for that was his fate. He's destined to save many, many lives.
We're not buying it.
Terrible cost to himself. I would never wish a fate like that on you, Baron. I would never wish a fate like that on anyone.
There are many songs about Armag, not all of them Numerian. Some see his story as an inspiration, others as a warning against the dangers of hubris. But I've never heard about any prophecy.
What are you looking for?
It is not yet time to answer this question. We are searching for ancient ruins, the remains of structures built by the previous holders of these strange lands. That is all I can tell you for now. I understand that you want to know more, but have no doubt, you will in time.
You speak in riddles.
Don't be wary of riddles. Those wise enough to solve them eventually learn much more than those who always seek straight answers.
What were you and Dugath arguing about?
My sisters. They each went out on their own quests and never returned. Not one of the three. I can understand Dugath. He doesn't trust us. But by refusing to help my sisters and me, he puts himself, his people, countless innocent souls in grave danger.
I have a feeling he might be doing that by helping you.
His impertinent heart.
Do you have any idea where they might be?
Do you have a map? I can provide you some direction. One of my sisters went to the sepulchre of forgotten heroes. Another went looking for the Forsaken Mound. And the third was going to visit the ruins of the City of the Hollow Eyes. I won't lie, these places are all very dangerous. But searching for lost truth always involves danger.
Danger's what we do love. But we passed the sepulchre. Alright. What compensation can I expect?
With the most valuable treasure of all, truth.
Your whole army, how do you manage to get this far?
Wise ones know many routes that are closed to the uninitiated. Will you be able to detect them? Will you dare to walk along them? Who knows?
Do you know anything about what happened in Varnold?
Dark things tend to happen in that land. I can only guess to the fate of Varnold. My 3 sisters know more.
Well, they're responsible.
And you'll get your answers. If the spirits are kind, it will happen before it's too late.
Yeah, well, I gotta go.
If in your travels you meet my sisters, please help them, and I will help you in return. Remember this word, Geheb. That is what the previous inhabitants of these lands, the Cyclopses, called darkness they so worshipped. If a door shut and lockless bars your path, this word might be your key.
Keb, alright.
May kind spirits guide you in your travels.
Right. I don't really care about this learning the truth nonsense. I think it's all a load of bull. But if this is going to help me find our pal Mager, I'll have a go. Just have a look at the map to start with. Alright, City of Hollow Eyes, Sepulchre. Oh, and there's a Forsaken Mount. You know what, let's go take care of that one. And then we'll quit, I think. Avoid them. Collapsed passage, huh? Got a fight on. Alright, lads and lasses, let's get this going. Bandit. It shouldn't be too hard.
Face me if you dare.
Bunch of bandits. Still shouldn't be too hard. Oh, they got some coming in from bottom. Someone's summoning wolves. You want to actually start taking this down? Kenner, I think you're going to be a good one to do that.
Taste my fury.
Right, he's down. Camera, let's see what else is, because where are these wolves coming from? Summon monsters. There's a couple of conjurers there. Well, that wasn't so hard, now Warwick. We go. How close are we, by the way? Even closer. All right.
I lead.
Select all of that. Yeah, we can't claim that because it's out of our area. Forsaken Mound, here we go. The tomb built within the hollowed rock by ancient Cyclops was safely hidden from casual searchers. The path to it was skillfully concealed by lush vegetation. We hadn't known exactly where to look. We would have just passed it by, never even suspecting it was there. The entrance was covered with huge stone slabs that seemed to merge with a stone wall. But dishevelled bushes and torn ivory shoots implied that it had been moved recently. I'll use that word. Keb means darkness. It's an ancient forgotten word. How do you know it then? From the ancient forgotten language. Like a time-bleached bone from some unknown beast out in the wilderness. After speaking the word, the stone slab moved so smoothly and almost soundlessly moved aside, opening the entrance to the damp, musty darkness. To avoid being trapped inside, we propped the door open with a large stone, which proved a smart decision. As soon as we stepped inside, the door shuddered and tried to close behind us. The stone kept it in place. Behind the door was a spacious corridor, obviously built for creatures much larger than humans, probably Cyclops. The air smelled damp and the stone walls, decorated with bas-reliefs and carvings, were completely covered with a disgusting oily mould. Law nature. Carefully examine the mould. Sometimes the fungus in a dungeon proves more dangerous than any monster. So many adventurers suffocated on poisonous spores, got burned, or were disintegrated on the spot just because they never thought to open a botany book. Fortunately, the mould in this tomb, though sticky, smelly, and disgusting, was completely harmless. Armed with this, we... perception. Carefully search corridor for traps. Tombs and traps always come as a pair. Like pen and ink, or barbarians and rage, or officials and bribes. Yeah, amen. This tomb is no exception. Sure, there weren't any pressure plates on the floors, or bundles of stones waiting to fall on our heads. But under a layer of mould was a hidden magic sign, the kind you shouldn't look at. Having finished our search, we checked for magic. Hidden beneath a layer of mould, something shone brightly, radiating a strong necromancy aura. It was almost certainly a magical trap, like those, one of those signs you shouldn't look at. We've just seen that. Alright, go down. A huge sarcophagus was placed in the middle of the burial chamber, its lid lying on the floor nearby. Inside was a gigantic skeleton. Its skull stared hollowly with its single eye socket, and its bony fingers were clenched around a small brass incense burner that also looked like a one-eyed skull. Near the sarcophagus was a slim figure of a woman, wrapped in grey cloak. She wasn't breathing, and it didn't take much looking to discover her cause of death. The Cyclops had left a nasty surprise for anyone who dared come to rob their graves. Near the skeleton's head was a magical symbol of death, carved directly into the sarcophagus surface. It must have killed the sister, The instant she opened the lid, luckily for us, it was a single-use trap. We examined the crypt and the incense burner to try and understand why the sisters would need all this creepy stuff. Judging from the wall coverings, the builders of this gloomy place must have venerated Charon, the godlike archdemon of death. Similar incense burners were used in his servants' rituals. The smoke coming from the eye socket was meant to symbolise a soul flying to him. Were these sisters conducting some ritual, maybe even trying to summon Charon himself? Terrible. After we explored the tomb, we examined the body. Didn't get anywhere with that. When we removed the cloth from the dead woman's face, it sent a chill down our spines. She literally had no face. Instead, there was a rough grey surface, looking something like a roughly made clay mask. 2 holes instead of eyes, a hole instead of a nose, a crack instead of a mouth. What power could have done that to her? She had nothing of interest on her, so we took the incense burner and left the tomb, which had also become the burial chamber for the very person we've been searching for. Well, there you go. And all but her have leveled up. She's 351 away. Let's get the level ups done. Barbarian. Can't remember what we're using as a weapon, but never mind. Could do extra rage, or extra rage power. Hmm. Whenever you're adjacent to an ally who also has this feat, you gain +2 competence bonus on all combat maneuver checks. Yeah, let's go for that. Canara. Kineticist. Right. Improve critical with kinetic blast. And could do that on eruption. Kinetic blast erupts from the ground in a contented pillar. Could do that. I think the wall for now would be good. Lindsay. More from the bard. I can't remember what she's using, so I'm not going to worry about that right now. Take it off of there. Give her some extra performance. And then... none at number 1 is really all that useful anymore. Dominate person. Let's try that. Reg. You're back with the dragon, aren't you? Why don't you join me on coordinated maneuvers? Slow might be a nice thing for you to have. Although I think your girlfriend's got that, doesn't she? Yeah. Give it to you anyway. Octavia. Arcane Trickster. Give you some combat casting. Animal growth, yes. And baleful polymorph, I reckon. Nice. Right. When we come back, we might take a look at Collapsed Passage or up here and work our way to City of Hollow Eyes and Sepulchre of Forgotten Gods. Or there might be something to do on the way up there. We'll see. In the meantime, I've been Yorkie the Barbarian. You've been wonderful. And this has been Pathfinder Kingmaker. Bye now.